to meet you.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to welcome you in the company.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm Erwan.
I'm Brieuc. And I'm Richard Boussel, CTO of Imagine 3D. Okay. Welcome.
Thank you. Can you present in a few words your activity in this society?
Sure. Imagine 3D is what we can call a startup. It's more like a PME right now. We have few activities. The first historical one with which we started the company is 3D printing. You can see here a bunch of 3D printers, different level of quality. After that, we went more into the production of, let's say, digital entities, digital software, with augmented reality, virtual visits, and virtual reality.
Okay. Can you explain these two technologies more precisely?
Yeah, let's start with virtual reality. Virtual reality is a technology where you create the image to immerse the player into a virtual world. Okay, and usually you have to put a headset. Once you have this headset on your head, everywhere you look around, the image will actually follow. So the camera is your head. And in this digital space, you are like in a 3D game. So you may be on the moon, you may be under the sea, you may be in space. You can invent all your surrounding and all the interaction. Okay. But the second one, which is augmented reality, is a little bit different. You take the reality, so usually through a screen and through the camera of your mobile device, for instance, and on this screen you inject some digital elements. You augment the reality. That's the name. And on the reality you have this layer. We like to describe that as a layer of in the digital space. You have the reality. You may have a newspaper, a print, on top of which you will add digital services. You see an image, you will be able to click on this image, even though this image is paper. Okay.
Can you define your role in society?
Yes, I'm. If you want to translate directly from French, is a technical director, which is the chief technical officer of the company, CTO, and my role is to oversee all development in the company relative to the technical aspect. Okay. David, which is the CEO of the company, is in charge of all the marketing and leading the vision, and together we let's say put our competency together to address specific verticals. He has the ability to talk to the customer, get the needs from them. I take those needs, I formulate them, I find a way to implement them, and then we can deliver back to the customer. And our role doesn't stop here. Most of the companies stop here. You know, a client comes to a company, I want this. The company does it, deliver this software. We don't stop here. We have this ability to, let's say, to extract the fundamental meaning of what the customer wanted from us. But if this customer wants that from us, it means it may be part of a trend. And maybe other customers want the same thing. So what we try to do here is to extract this and to create a line of product out of this. So we can capitalize on much more than just one customer. You have one customer, but in the end you sell it maybe 10, 20 times. Or much more, like we will see later with our platform.
Okay. How long have you been here in Camara?
Camara. I arrived from Thailand. I will explain to you a little bit later. I arrived from Thailand in 2015, June 2015. I stayed a little bit in Brest, and then I joined the company here October 2015.
Okay.
So it's like, yeah, 2 years and a half, 3 years soon. And I'm very happy and very proud of it. Canary it's a nice place to live. We don't have the problem of the big cities, but we are living now in a digital space. Again, we are in a digital world. We are talking every day with San Francisco, Chicago, Singapore. No matter where we are,
It's a good place.
it's a good place to be. Basically, any place is a good place to be. But here, you don't have the trouble of traveling 1 hour and a half to go to work, or you don't have the strikes.
Yeah. What education did you take to get to this position?
It's a long one. Let's start back to the dinosaur. After I did in Brest, baccalaureate S, option physics, I joined the university and studied Doug MIAS, which is math, computer science, and computer science applied to science, actually. Okay. Which is like how to compute the reflectivity of a glass and this kind of thing. Once I finished this DUG, I got what we call Bac +2. I joined license and maîtrise, which is a kind of bachelor level in Brest, UBO. It was pure computer science at this point. And I was lucky enough to finish head of promotion each time, so I could choose a pretty good, we call DEA after that in Paris, which is fifth Bac +5 in Paris, which is the DEA IARFA, Artificial Intelligence and Pattern Recognition, basically, in Paris 5, I think. Then after that I could find internship, because we have to find a long 6-month internship into a research lab, and I was lucky enough to get something with Professor André Gagalovich in INRIA Rocancourt. And the subject of this internship was to create a 3D model of faces using different picture without markers. So you just provide picture front, profile, even 3/4, and we automatically rebuild the face in 3D. And after 6 months it was quite successful, and we decided to go after that on a PhD training. So I trained as a PhD for 4 years. After that, my PhD was financed by the CNC, the Centre National Cinéma in France, and by the region, and in Ria, of course. And we work with post-production very closely with a very big post-production company in Paris called Microsimage. And there again, I've been lucky. It's a section of lucky point, but I've been lucky enough to have this technology used in real movies, actually. A couple of production, like Akhenaton, the rap player, is using my technology in one of these clips, for instance. The Daltons, few advertisements as well. And so, thanks to that, I could be a bit close to a company in Singapore, strange enough. And after my PhD, I joined this company in Singapore for, I think, to 2000, or it was in 2006, in 2009, up to 2009. And there I was a deputy CTO, like just a little bit below the technical director. And there I had a lot of freedom to develop a lot of different technologies based on what I've done during my PhD, based on the 3D face, but also to do stereo reconstruction using 2 cameras, to do tracking, to do replacement of faces into videos, on which I had at that time several patents. And again, it was in 2006, I've been lucky enough to get some prize thanks to this technology. We won the SITF in Singapore, so the Singapore Infocom Technology Foundation Award, with this face replacement, automatic face replacement of people inside the video. Thanks to that, we went to Macau. We won. It was APICTA, Asia Pacific Infocom and Technology Award. And thanks to that, I went to the World Technology Award, where I finished second. Google, it's fine. I give that to them. And it was a great experience. At that time was really a great experience. After that, I quit this company, and I created my own, which was actually creating my second company in Singapore. But this company, we managed to raise $1 million in funds, and we developed some pretty cool technology. But I will explain to you that it was not the right thing to do. I kind of warned them. I had no experience at that time really in business, but I could feel it was not the right thing to do. To raise money, to try to develop one software or one technology and to try to sell it. And I will explain to you that what we do here in Imagine is completely reverse, and it's the right way to do. We talk to the customer first, and then we extract technology, and then we try to develop that very nice product. Otherwise, you end up with what we call here the robot that jump on one leg. It's something really cool to see, but would you buy one? I don't think so. So here we talk to the customer first. We have our R&D, we have our long-term vision program, but we talk to the customer first. We try to get revenues first, and it's the right thing to do. So after, and what happened? What should happen? Have happened in Singapore. This company, we went at the end of the funds, and we tried to sell it. Somebody was agree on to buy it, but it never went through. So I created another company, Visioneo, and at that time Singapore became very, very expensive. So I decided to operate this company from Thailand. That's why I spent 5 years in Singapore, 5 years in Bangkok. And in Bangkok, basically it was not the place to business as in Singapore, but it's where I start to understand that it doesn't matter. We can be anywhere in the world. You can do your business.
Like here.
Like here, exactly. And I was in Bangkok for a while, and then I moved countryside because I met my wife there, and I moved countryside with her to her family. And I was really living in a farm, I tell you. But I could deal with the UK, with Singapore, with the USA, and really it was a change of vision for me. Which is why when we decided to go back to France, it was okay. You just have to pack our luggage and go. You don't have to be afraid to go somewhere, basically. Not anymore. Before, it maybe you have to think a lot of paperwork, a lot of things. Now we are in a digital space. At least for the work side of the story, you don't have to worry much.
Okay, thank you. You just told us about your experience in Singapore. Can you tell us about the mentality at work, or maybe cultural difference in France, like France?
There are many cultural differences. Let me just start with an analogy. Something not linked to our work, but you will understand why sometimes we may have different point of view on the same thing, and both are okay. You are eating in France. It's polite to finish your plate. We've always been told that. It's polite. When you are in Asia, it's polite not to finish your plate, because it will show to your host that you are full, and thank you, you see, you give me so much, I cannot finish my plate.
Okay.
It's a different point of view, it's totally valid. You can understand very easily. You can understand also that in France, you don't want to waste food, and you have to finish your plate, and it shows that you are polite. So both point of view are okay. So on many aspects, even in the business side, you have different point of view on in France and there. And most of the time they are both valid. In Asia, it's okay to go fast and to produce something that will answer quickly to the needs. In France, we want to spend a lot of time to make something very, very